It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
All right. Thanks, Mackenzie. Appreciate the intro there.
Always here.
That is my co-host, Mackenzie Schwenke. Good to have you here. We've got a couple guests with us today. This is our first ever episode we're going to do of this podcast, and it's great to have Heather Stewart and Cory Krug here.
Yes, with the Webster County Fairgrounds.
Webster County Fairgrounds. So what do you guys do for the Webster County? Like, what is your title? Let me ask you that straight away.
My title is Fair Manager.
All right, so you're the fair manager. And Cory?
I'm the president of the board.
President of the board. All right.
He's a boss, man.
Da, 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 da,
Well, that would imply people listen to me.
Okay. So are those the positions you've always had on the fair board, or have you like changed positions on the board over time?
I've changed positions. I started out as just a member.
All right. What do the different positions entail, I guess? Like, what is different from a member as far as like...
Actually, I started on the fair planning because I was just a peon then.
Right. So we have several committees
right.
that do different things for the fairgrounds. Fair planning committee is probably the biggest one because it's the biggest event that we're putting on out there. And then some people will become a board member at that point. It's a little lighter commitment in terms of helping out at certain things and the meetings you got to go to. And then we have board directors. And then from there you have your executive board, your treasurer, secretary, vice president.
Okay,
president.
all right. Yeah, so it's basically like a whole business that's being run with just a board of people that are like, do you guys get elected, or do you have to run and get appointed, or how does that work out?
Yep, they're elected, so we do a new executive board every year.
Okay.
That doesn't mean the executive board people change every year, but the board reelects that executive committee every year, and then people get voted on as positions open, or we do a thing every September for new members to get voted on.
Oh, nice. That's really cool. I mean, again, I'm just going to play the devil's advocate here. So it's kind of nice to kind of break down exactly what you guys are doing at the fair board. You said you do the fair, which, by the way, the Webster County Fair is July 17th through the 21st this year.
Yes,
for everybody that didn't know. So do you guys just do that, or are there like other events that you help plan being on the fair board? Because it's the Fairgrounds you guys are managing, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 70-acre property out there. We have several buildings. We have a big auditorium building that we rent out for banquets and graduations and weddings and gun shows, all kinds of fun stuff there. Then we have livestock facilities and an indoor arena. So we'll rent those out. The Iowa Central College uses our indoor arena and outdoor arena and horse barn as their home to their rodeo program.
Yeah.
And then we'll also, I think we got a big goat show coming up this year.
We do. It's in June, so.
Goat show?
A goat show.
Yep, it's a Central Iowa Classic. It's a ABJ sanctioned along with the Ryan Rash sanction too.
Oh, cool. We were talking before the podcast. You're interested in, you have a lot of interest in livestock.
I do have yes, that's my main interest.
So
primarily goats.
Yes.
Is that for real? You're not pulling my leg? Goats? Yes.
Yeah, goats. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
we have 80 goats.
What?
80.
That's. What do you do with all these goats?
We are really big into showing. My daughters are they show. So we are ABJ. We like our ABJ goats. We are more registered stock than jackpot stock.
Oh, cool. So
what's the difference?
It's your
help us with the acronym.
The American Board goats, the registered stock, they're bigger and they're more of your like correction of the goats per se, like your teats, your the color of the tail and all that good stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like you'll get DQ'd, like if you have the wrong teeth structure, your tail's not up, you don't have the right percentage of color in your tail or your teeth so yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the jackpots are more of the stockier, the shorter, stockier that are, so yeah.
All right, so at the goat show, look for Heather.
Yeah.
She knows what's up, it sounds like.
Yeah, I am one of the ones that are co-hosting it, so.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, like, what other things about the fairgrounds have changed? I mean, we were talking a little bit before that it seemed like I personally hadn't been there in probably, since I'm not from town, I hadn't been there in like 20 years. And when I was there last year, I was like, this place looks really nice. What all has changed in the last, I mean, not necessarily 20 years, but since you guys have been on the board, what are some things that have kind of changed and upgraded out there at the fairgrounds?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, if you don't know the history of the fairgrounds floated around Fort Dodge for many years. It used to be out at the exposition grounds where the old expo pool was. Then it was out where Iowa Central is located at today.
Yeah, I actually read a little bit about
Yeah,
that. I didn't know that.
Its current location, just south of Fort Dodge, is from the 1970s.
That's what I thought I saw.
Most of the buildings out there were built in the 1980s. So we've, over the last, I'd say since 2016, 2017, we've really been investing to get the buildings updated first. That's our kind of primary focus. We also did a big move we moved our grandstand.
Oh, yeah.
I always used to describe it to people as we're just going to lift it up and we're going to put it over here. And it sounds simple, but it wasn't.
Okay, it wasn't that easy?
No, it wasn't that easy. So we've been operating the new grandstand for the past, what did we do?
COVID.
Yeah, before COVID, we had that out there. So, and we host regular figure 8 series races out there, and then we do extra things at fair. Every now and then there'll be a different event come through that'll be out there at the grandstand. And then Heather can talk. I mean, we've remodeled the indoor auditorium facility quite a bit, upgraded the kitchen, ceiling, lights, all that stuff. We're still have more plans for bathrooms out there. And Heather, why don't you talk about some of the livestock stuff we've been updating?
Our big one right now was the indoor arena.
Okay.
So that is from 1973, I think, is when that was built.
Okay.
So it hadn't been touched since then.
Yeah, so he wasn't kidding.
Holy
everything's a lot of it's original buildings, original
It
infrastructure.
is. It
out
is. It was an so if a lot of the buildings are brown at the fairgrounds. And so
it was a popular color back then, apparently.
It
Yeah.
was,
Not
it
today.
was.
It's very country style color.
Better than Harvest Gold.
You don't have to worry about mud anywhere.
Yeah. So we gave that a really nice facelift with some white steel and some gray trim.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then we got some spray foam going on up on the ceiling, and we put some updated the ceiling fans and the lights, and we got some nice overhead doors with the garage door openers on them, so we don't have to just push up a button and they go on up.
All right. So let me ask you this then. So you want to do all these upgrades, all these things. The board gets together, decides this is what you guys want to do with the grounds, with the buildings on the grounds. Does that come from your sponsors for the fair, that a lot of the money that you guys end up bringing in for this, or does it come from attendance or the camping or a little combination of everything? Is it?
The sponsorships from we get for fair go right back to fair.
Nice.
To keep our fair free, it takes so much money to bring in all the entertainment, all that kind of stuff. So all that money gets put back into the fairgrounds.
Yeah, and that's really what's changed in fair since I would say probably 2017, 2018. We started bringing a lot of free entertainment, right? So it's a great time, for everybody. Bring people out. It's free to get in, right? And then you've got all this free entertainment. And as you're looking at and watching all that stuff happen, that's because of the sponsors.
Yeah.
Without that, we wouldn't have any free entertainment, or you'd be getting charged a lot to get into that fairgrounds.
Yeah. So what kind of free entertainment are we talking about? Are we talking grandstand events? Are we talking about stuff that's throughout the fair as you kind of walk through?
It's throughout the fair. So like this year, we have stingrays, the steamers, Nature Nick. So all this stuff is happening all day long.
Oh, nice.
And we wanted to kind of bring something up to the something different to the Kids Zone this year. So we were able to find sponsors for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we have the foam pit coming.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I mean it's a lot of stuff that's for the kids, and even for adults. Adults love it too. So their kids get to enjoy it, and they get to enjoy it themselves.
So I have a question because so I'm not from this county. I'm from Cass County, which is way far away, but 2 hours away. I guess it's not way far away, but I know a lot of people think that county fairs are almost the same thing. At least maybe that's just my initial, your initial thoughts is, just, livestock, all that stuff. What is unique about your guys' county fair in general? Is there anything specifically that kind of sets you apart from everybody else?
Yeah, I'm not going to say the animals are a whole lot different.
No.
Because we're not that far away. But we've really changed ours to that free entertainment,
yes.
Right? We're when you're coming out, we're trying to give you something you can do for a good block of time while you're out there and be consistent. So there's not a lot of gaps where you're just sitting around trying to find a corn dog. And there is corn dogs, and that's important.
There is,
I don't want to shy away from the fact that the corn dogs and the fried food, that's important.
There.
Yes, they will be there.
Funnel cakes.
Yes, we have Scott's Amusements coming in, so we're going to have, your traditional carnival rides and all that stuff's going to be out there.
Yes, all the delicious food.
But we we take a lot of pride in all the kids stuff that we're trying to bring forward. Because the fair and the fairgrounds in general is really about the kids. So the reason all the fairgrounds exist is to have a place for our youth in the community that are involved in 4-H and FFA, or even just want to come show something open, whether it's an exhibit in the auditorium or the 4-H families are really good about helping kids that don't have animals find an animal. Heather can talk about her Webster County Future Showman for a little bit. But that's what we try to focus on the most is what can we do for the kids out there? And like she talked about the kids zone, and that entertainment is geared for kids.
Yes.
So the Fire Ninja, it's probably going to be cool to watch him.
Wait,
but
what?
it's really about
the Fire Ninja.
the Fire Ninja.
I want to know more about that.
Don't say this isn't for adults because I'm going to check out the Fire Ninja.
Peter's going to be in the front row.
Yeah, so he does some fire breathing, and then he'll walk the grounds and he'll be teaching kids, karate ninja moves, right? Trying to engage with them. The streamer show that Heather mentioned, think of kind of a high-act circus, right?
Yep.
Where they're doing,
different acrobat stuff.
tall acrobatic stuff. It's just stuff that's really entertaining to kids. And the stingrays, that's about being able to interact with.
And you can touch them.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
You'll be able to interact with them as much as I guess you want to.
Yeah.
Man, maybe we should just bring in a whole aquarium for
Right?
dolphin shows.
And so and there's an annual fair convention. So when we go to the annual fair convention, that's what we're really trying to focus on is what's going to be a little different for the community. We try to mix it up every year. Some fairs that you'll go to, and this is nothing against any fair, you might have the same thing.
They find something that works and they just
Right.
keep going.
Yeah.
And we always try to bring in something different all the time.
Yeah, the fair conventions, like the first time I heard about that was probably about 5 to 10 years ago. I was like, I didn't know that. I guess I didn't know they were a thing, but it's like, is it the one that's down in Des Moines?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's this giant convention area that has full of people with booths selling their wares to the fairs. So, like we can bring this to the fair, we can bring this to your fair, and people go up and they get business cards and they talk about it with their fair boards, and then they hire these people. And that was actually something that was really cool. I guess I didn't. I'm from Humboldt County. Not that our fair is really small, but it does seem like you said, every year is kind of like a cookie cutter thing. And when they started bringing in new things, I was like, how'd you get the idea to do this? Like, how'd you find these people? And then I found out about, the fair board conventions where they have all the vendors down there. And that's something really interesting, I guess, like you said, having a different set of things every year. So in case you didn't go last year because it didn't have this, well, guess what? We have it this next year. So you're going to bring somebody out that might not have, thought about going out the previous year.
Yeah, you've got all 99 counties, including the state fair. So they're out there as well.
Oh, okay.
So most people don't know that the state fair, that all kind of starts with the county fairs. So all the county fairs are broken into a district. Each district elects a couple representatives that represent on the state fair board.
Oh.
And then those state fair board representatives become the president of the fair. So it's all a close kind of group that gets together, and it's a fun couple days down there.
It is a fun couple days.
Yeah.
But with COVID hitting, it's hard to find good quality entertainment. So we've actually had to book ahead some stuff already for next year. We're not going to announce what that is yet.
Oh, come on. Let us know.
We could have had an exclusive. No. I'm just
But since COVID, I would say almost maybe half of all the entertainment has left the market.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like,
And everything has went up in price so much.
yeah, I mean, everything across the board has kind of gone up in price, unfortunately. But I mean, COVID was one of those weird things where it was 4+ years ago, and we're still seeing weird after effects of it. Like you said, like there's not as many entertainers, or
There's not.
and I mean, who's to say exactly why that is? But it's just the fact of the matter is, like, post-COVID, something has happened and things have changed. Free entertainment there is probably like one of my favorite things ever, because like you said, you go to a fair, you eat a corn dog, you get a funnel cake. Yeah,
You sit down and watch some cool entertainment.
that's
Yeah,
the
see,
part.
that's nice because like my county fair, like it felt like the time that to go is always at night because that was when all the stuff is going on, like the tractor pulls, the bull riding, all that stuff. That was at night, so it's like why go during the day when there's not really much going on? Like there's not a ninja walking around trying to get my attention.
Yeah.
And we still charge for the grandstand stuff, so you're still going to want to come to that, but you're going to have to show up at least a couple hours early. I would recommend at least 3 or 4
Yeah.
if you want to try to get through all the free entertainment
Yeah.
before
wow.
you go to the grandstand. There's not going to be enough time to do everything in just a couple hours. If we'll show up an hour early and grab a food and watch a show, you won't hit it all.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that was one of the things that kind of was awe-striking to me because, like I said, I'm from like the Humboldt County area, so that fair is a little bit smaller. It's just because it's a smaller county, but like having gone to the Webster County Fair last year, I went during the tractor pull nights. The place was packed, and I mean absolutely packed for tractor pulls.
When we had on Friday night, we had the ATV, UTV, and tough trucks. That was amazingly packed. It was so awesome, guys. Like there were people parking in the ditches on the road. Like it was full.
That's gotta feel really good for you guys to like see how many people are like. It's how it's growing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's probably really cool for you just to stand back and just look at everything and like, wow, look at how many people we brought in this year. And
it is. I mean, when I am originally from the area, I grew up on a farm just south of Otho, and I left for a while and came back in 2013, something like that. And I remember, I think it was 2014. I'm riding my motorcycle along the road, and I see a sign that says fair. So I pull into the fairgrounds, and I gravitated to the corn dog. Right? I mean, there was a corn dog stand there, so I went to the corn dog, bumped into a couple people I knew, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, and I left.
Yeah.
Right? That wouldn't be the case today. Right? There'd be a ton of stuff. You'd see signs to go check out this show and check out that show. You'd be able to just be out there. We could be out there all day if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. So, like, what are some things that have changed, I guess? Like, how long have you been on the board? Let me ask you that.
So I originally joined the board in 2016.
So you've seen pre- and post-COVID impacts on that.
Yep. And the growth, really, like I said, kicking off late 17, 18. And then COVID hit. We still did some grandstand stuff.
With a livestock show, too.
And we did a livestock show, but nothing was really sanctioned by, the way it is now, and you're headed to the state fair, that type of stuff. It was more of an open show that we kind of ran on our own because the kids had still put in the work, right? So
that's a very good point.
We took the precautions and wanted to have a show so they could still show off what they did. So we were able to make that happen, though.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that you're putting a lot of onus on the fact that like the fairs, it's not just for the kids, but it's for the kids, Like
it is for the kids. That's what we do. I mean, we spend countless hours. Like my husband will say, like, you don't live at my house. You don't live here. You don't live here, hon. And I feel like that sometimes. I feel like I live at the fairgrounds.
That's not a bad place.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that were in like the county fairs. They did the livestock showing, and oh my gosh, the amount of time that it takes, even way before the fair, and then like during that week, I'm glad I didn't do it because I don't think I would have had the time for how much of a commitment it is. But
it's a huge commitment.
Yeah, hats off to anyone that does anything with livestock. That's definitely a lot of work. It's cool that like I'm an adult, whatever, but it's cool that kids are doing it. It's like you think, what kind of work ethic is being instilled into these kids? It's pretty awesome, And then you guys give them an outlet to show off what they've done all year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's the best reward though. So Heather started Webster County Future Showman last year, and I try to visit as much stuff as I can, but it's tough. And I'll tell you what, when you got to see those kids showing off, and they're just getting a small ribbon, but they're wearing a shirt, they're representing Webster County. The smiles on their face are just,
it's amazing.
They're electric.
It is. Amanda Condon and I got that started last year. This year we have 40 kids in it. Their ages, they're ages 3 years old to third grade.
That's wild. That's so cool.
You see those third graders, and so we give banners, and we run it just like a jackpot show does. So they do jackpots for sheep, and with us showing, we just run it the jackpot style, and the kids absolutely love it. They get banners, they get ribbons.
So what was the word that you were just using? Jackpot?
Yeah. So jackpots run. So so if you do Clover Kids, it's just like you get a participation ribbon.
Okay. Yeah.
So a jackpot style is more like you are up against your component. You're going for the gold.
Wow. So this is like the Olympic version of
yeah, and they love it. They absolutely love it. Like the kids, when they'd get that banner, they would just glow. Because we made them look this big. So yeah.
Oh, that's super cute.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
So as far as like other things at the fairgrounds, we had talked a little bit about how you've upgraded the buildings there and you kind of increasing the infrastructure around the grounds itself. Are there any other things that like either at the fair itself or at the fairgrounds that you guys have like worked on changing in recent years? For example, like featured events that you have like maybe at the grandstand. Do you have a lot of repeat type events? Because I know like tractor pulls are pretty common, at most fairs. Figure eights kind of seem to be a thing that's like an every other year type thing at most. Tough trucks are like kind of a
riding
popular
is
one.
like my county's go to. That is the night everybody shows up.
We have
and it is different for each county.
Yeah.
What their main event is.
So we don't have the bull riding. We have IRR, which is IR Rough Stock. It's the youth rodeo.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So yeah, that's on Thursday night. So we do have a rodeo. So it's free for you to attend. So
yeah, and we're gonna bring in a demo derby this year. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit on Thursday night and do a demo derby.
Yep.
Tough truck and truck pull are usually our big nights. Our figure eight's always well attended though. That's our season. And we started a couple years ago. We created the Figure Eight Nationals. So we hold that at the end of September or first part of October, depending on how the calendar falls.
Oh, cool.
So that's been growing too. So that's one of those regular things you're going to, depend on at the fairgrounds outside of fair. But yeah, I mean, there's flea markets, all kinds of shows that, I always encourage somebody to check out the calendar. There's a nice little sign when you drive by Highway 169 telling you what's going on that weekend, but there's usually something happening at the Webster County Fair.
Yeah.
So then I have a question, because there's so much going on, but what is your guys' favorite thing to go see, be a part of, whatever, at the fair?
You guys have put the work in. You're going to kick your feet back and enjoy an evening at the fair.
When Heather's away from, living there.
Yeah.
You said kick your feet back?
Yeah. That doesn't happen, guys.
Yeah, you're going to do a somersault or something. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Usually, I mentioned earlier when we get time to sit down and watch the shows and the kids that are exhibiting the livestock or go see them being judged and evaluated inside for the static exhibits that are inside the auditorium. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest reward. Our relaxing moment usually comes about 10 o'clock at night when the events are winding down, or maybe we get to watch the end of the event. Mm-hmm. That's probably the best. I mean, we love seeing all the shows we booked.
Yeah.
When we can,
do get to,
because then we want to make decisions if maybe in the future we bring them back. But
so your guys' job isn't just, we booked some shows, go for it. It's you guys are at the fair while the fair is happening on the grounds.
Yeah, going hog wild.
Literally.
I feel like
I'm back to livestock.
It's always coming back to livestock.
I feel like I am running Mach 90 the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've got some of the right people. You guys do seem like, you're very passionate about what's going on out there. And, you guys, it's kind of fun to just see how everybody kind of fits, like, livestock, you kind of fit in there. And you seem to have such a good handle on, like, the generalities of everything that's going on down at the fair. And it's understandable because, fair board president. But
we would hope you would know what's going on.
Yeah, I do too.
Did I read somewhere that you guys have done some upgrades to, like, the campground area out there? Is that have you, like, changed that up a little bit?
Well, so we've expanded it.
Yeah.
So I think we've probably added, I think we're at 20 more spots than you would have seen that. And then we've had to upgrade some of them. Some people have just run into the old spots. And so we've had to put new posts down. Mm-hmm. There's probably over 100 campground facilities, electrical spots. Mm-hmm. They're all, if they're not in a space where we're running a show, they're all full. Mm-hmm. I think we still have a waiting list for this year. So we do some dry camping.
Like a waiting list being like it's full and there's people seeing if someone's going to back out, they'll hop in.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
And if not, they got to bring a generator with their camper and pull out back.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was there last
year. And
year,
they'll do that.
It was one end to the next, campers, tents, you name it. Yep. I mean, there were people there and the campgrounds just absolutely full.
Okay. So the people that, that rent the campground, is that what am I using the right rent?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I don't know. But like, are some of them just to be at the event, or like, are they people that are actually like the kids that are working at
like the livestock events?
Yeah, that are doing
so like that are camping. Are you talking about?
They're camping during fair.
They're camping during fair because their kids are either in the livestock or else they're they have a static exhibit or their kids are just in 4-H or FFA, and they really love the fair.
Okay.
I guess that's
That
something
makes
we
sense.
completely bypass. There's always, like vendors and exhibits at the fair that like we basically haven't even like touched base on
Yeah.
yet. We've talked mostly about the events and the grounds itself, but yeah, there's always vendors out at the fairs.
There is.
All sorts of. Is there any like specific vendors you guys have always like, I've got to go buy the such and such vendor every year to kind of check it out? I always liked going through those because they change up just enough at every fair every year where it's not like I go in this building, it's it's this person and that person and these people are always like in the same spots. It's never like that, and I think that's one of my favorite parts about going to see the exhibits there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned the corn dogs. I guess I don't know why I keep thinking corn dogs.
I'm
when we
guessing
talk
somebody
about
really wants a corn dog right now.
He really has a corn dog fetish.
But I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of the new one that everybody seems to be really liking along the Midway. That main one.
The wine slushy?
Wow, we're always talking about food or drinks.
Sounds like
I don't
that's
know.
where she's at.
Yeah, I think
Don't act like your eyes.
they
didn't
are
light up.
coming.
I know, I was really
wine
go-
slushy will be back, but just stuff that you can, look through, buy something
Like DH Designs?
Yeah, DH Designs is one that'll be back again. Our gal that runs the flea market works to bring in some new ones, and then of course the board tries to bring in new ones. But the big thing this year is on Sunday, there's going to be a vendor show going on. Like,
cool.
So it's a 1-day show from 10 to 2.
Yes.
That'll be both outside of the auditorium and inside. I mean, everything else is still going on. Don't make it sound like it's just the vendor show.
Oh, no,
but
we
it's
have
just
activities
a
going on.
1 day. There'll be a bunch of vendors coming out for that.
Wow.
Oh, that's super cool. That's super cool. We had talked a little bit about like reorganizing the grounds a little bit. You guys said you moved the grandstand and you expanded out the campground area. Is there anything else you guys have done out at the grounds as far as like reorganizing where things are at? I get you can't pick up a whole building and move it.
No,
Boy,
I
we
mean,
wish
you
we
could.
could.
Not
Yeah,
with that.
I really
not with
wish
that
we
attitude.
could. Yeah. No, I raised money to add concrete to the Goat and Sheep barn. We got a new show pen just delivered for the Goat and Sheep and Swine this week.
Yeah, and there's a new outdoor arena, so that's kind of it'd be on the north end of the facility, and what we call day stalls for the horses.
Okay.
So that's out there. We do have plans that we want to add some more big buildings out north of that arena. Some of those buildings were actually moved from the college location back in the 70s.
Okay.
One of it is you can refer to it as like a leaning tower of barn because for some reason it leans just a little bit, and we've been told that it did that when they put it in.
Huh.
It's always been like that.
No, that
So-
sounds like you're about to turn it into like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's gonna be an
exactly.
attraction. Take your picture, holding
Yes,
it up.
yes.
Make T-shirts for
Yeah.
it.
Make it look like it's on a slanted slope. But yeah, I mean, we're really currently developing 5-year, 10-year plans to get rid of some of those facilities. We always want great facilities for everybody to be proud of in the community when they come
Yeah.
out, especially for the kids that are showing. Those kids have to live in those facilities for a week for the most part, right? They're in there with their livestock. So we want to make them as nice as we can. So those are coming after we upgrade some of the bigger ones first.
That's understandable. I can't wait till this year's fair, which, by the way, I'm going to mention it once again. Webster County Fair is July 17th through the 21st this year. Make sure you get out there. I'm going to go out there and go through some of the buildings because I haven't actually been in any of the buildings since I was probably like 10 years old. I used to do a lot of like academic competitions and stuff, and we'd end up down there and go through those buildings. And I remember seeing them, like you said, they were kind of retro, I guess would be the nice way. But that kind of dates me too, because it wasn't too far past the 70s when I was out there. So,
So it was new to you.
Yeah, that's bad.
I remember when it was new.
yeah, honestly, like it was closer to when they were probably built than it is now. So it's probably changed quite a bit.
Well, you need to come out on Saturday because on Saturday, me and my kids are grilling goat burgers.
I'm in. Goat burger. I used to cut meat for a
So
living. I'll
does
eat
this
anything.
mean that you're gonna go from like 80 goats to maybe like
No, they're my kids' last year 4-H project. Just joking, guys. Just joking.
I was gonna be like, oh wow.
congratulations?
Yeah, she'll have pictures set up next to the goat stand so you can see how they look.
She's
in the
gonna
show.
label every single burger by the name of the goat.
Exactly.
So you know
but
which one you're eaing.
This was a purple ribbon goat. This is a blue ribbon goat.
This is the goat named Steve or something,
but like, so it'd be 2 years ago we did it, and we sold out in like 45 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, when we didn't sell it, it was all by donation, and we donated back to the indoor arena.
So does this mean that we get like a invite to get like make sure that we get a burger for us?
Have a
Heck yeah,
goat
man.
burger on the side.
So like last year, 2 years ago or a year ago, I did 1 goat, and then this year I did 2.
Wow.
All right,
So, yeah.
I'm actually going to write this down. What day was that?
So it's Saturday, July 20th.
We're gonna
So,
be
yeah.
in contact with you. Like, can we get 2 on the side? We'll just come pick them up.
I
Yeah.
will be there Saturday the 20th.
Yeah, it was amazing. So, but yeah, so you have to come on Saturday.
I'm stoked. That sounds so good.
Yeah.
We were talking about like remodeling things at the fair. Obviously, you guys are going to update the buildings. We've got the campgrounds are bigger. You guys have moved the grandstand. What about things that we've done for, I guess, things you guys have done marketing wise to remodel the fairgrounds? So one of the things would be like the website. You guys, we've, recently redone the website. I say we as in Spin Market. Our wonderful producer, Caleb, has been working on he's been working on the website, and he's been also, I got to throw out a props. He's been producing the podcast here. He does a lot of work here at Spin. So he has helped you guys redo the website, which a lot of this information I pulled off your old website, kind of perusing through there.
Did it take you like 20 years to get it?
It did take a little bit to get through it, but I've seen what he's done, and it looks very, very nice. So you've seen the website, have you not?
I have.
All right. Nobody else has seen the
No,
website
I'm
yet.
holding it hostage.
They're not letting me see it. I don't. So remember that earlier point of the president, everybody listens to me? Yeah. They haven't shown me the website.
So what are you gonna hold against him? So that way, he has to approve the website if he does.
I'll approve it. It's fine.
It's kind of like that logo,
Yeah. He saw the dog and didn't see the logo.
Yeah.
So you kind of hinted at like the question I'm going to ask is why? Why did you redo the website?
Our website was very old, it was outdated. It was hard to use. Nobody knew nobody could ever find it.
Couldn't find the website at all?
They just couldn't navigate it pretty much. I mean, and if when you got to the website, you were like, where do I go?
I could see that.
And like all the pictures were outdated, and it was just so blah.
Yeah, and I'm one of the current ones that updates the website we have today. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to train anybody else to do it. It is so difficult to keep refreshed and updated. But really what it came down to is we have so much stuff going on, right? Between flea markets and figure 8 grandstand events and the fair. And with that fair every year, you got to be able to find information quickly. Our new fair book's probably going to be online next year.
Oh, cool.
And so we just didn't want people to have to try to navigate that old site because, it has a picture and you're trying to see a poster, but if you're on a phone, it just didn't work.
Oh, it's not user friendly at all.
Oh man, that makes sense. I guess I accessed it on a computer, so I got to see what it looked like big. I guess I never tried it on a phone, which is what Caleb and Mackenzie. That's your guys' specialty. You guys build websites. You're amazing at it. So like that's something you guys would have actually looked at before it even comes out.
Yeah, that's usually like the last thing I focus on is the mobile side to make sure it's completely mobile friendly. Because, how many people actually go to their desktop if they don't? If I'm going to go, like if I'm out in the middle of the fairgrounds and I'm like, I wonder what time this is. Like I'm just going to pull it up on my phone. I'm not going to be like, here, let me just pull out my computer.
Get my MacBook out of my back pocket here.
And the current website's not scalable. So if you try to pull up our calendar, it gets really tiny.
Oh, okay.
And so it's hard to kind of get a quick list of events. And, we've got that sign I mentioned. Well, if you see something on there, you're going to want to go to the website or Facebook, one of those two places to find it quickly. Facebook, you might be scrolling a feed to see the last time we had it. At least we can entrust that everything's right there for you on the website.
That's a good point as far like I've played music for about 10 years now. I've been in different bands, some with Facebook, some with websites, and that was always the argument of like Facebook's nice, but you're kind of stuck on what's happened in the last couple of weeks. Otherwise, like you said, you're just scrolling
You're
and
lost.
scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Right.
The website makes it easy for people. Exactly like you said, you're at the fair, you drive by, you see something, somebody's like, I'm going to remember that. Let's look it up on my phone because I don't have, a whole whatever with me. And
Well, it's like, you drive by the fairgrounds and you see like a whole bunch of cars there and you're like, I wonder if there's something going on. Well, what's easier than like just pulling your phone out, searching for the Webster County Fairgrounds? Most likely there's a calendar on there right there that'll tell you, hey, this is going on. Oh, hey, let's just pull right over and go and check it out type of thing.
Yeah, I actually had that experience today.
oh, really?
So we have a a group coming out, and not to call them out here, but they're coming out to do an event during one of our figure 8 races. And I'm like, what dates were they coming? They're only attending certain figure 8 races. So I'm scrolling and I couldn't find it. I know I found it there originally, but I have no idea where their calendar of events was. So, and there's no website.
Yeah.
So now I got to make some phone calls to find out when they're coming again.
I mean, that's a good point, honestly. Like having somewhere where all the information is easy to access, especially with something that has, changes every single year, every month, new events. Especially even during the fair, it's like every hour there's something different going on, I'm sure. So having a new website would definitely help out in that aspect for sure. Let me see what else we got here.
Well, and just making it user friendly, like, so we get major sponsors. We get a lot of sponsors. I think, what are you almost up to? Like 75 sponsors.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a lot of sponsors. And I gotta say, I think Caleb was shocked when I sent him our sponsorship list. I think he was just like,
He's
oh my
shaking
gosh.
his head, yes.
It takes a village.
It does. And so now we're going to be able to link it. You'll sponsor the fair, and we'll put your logo on the website. You'll click on it, and it goes right to your website.
Whoa.
And
That's
before
so cool.
in our old website, you'd go and it'd be like this little tiny box, and you could maybe see what the logo was.
Oh,
Maybe,
wow.
But now it's nice and big. It's just so clear and so up to date.
Well, just for that alone, knowing that would make me more apt to sponsor, having like at least you're going to get the kickback with a link and a nice logo and stuff to send you over there.
Yeah.
Instead of like, well, I sponsored the fair, there might be a sign out there, but that's all that I'm going to get out of the sponsorship,
Exactly.
a feel good, and things like that. Yeah. But that's really nice. I mean, like, it's almost like you guys are helping. I mean, it's what the whole point of the sponsorship is, but it's like you're doing the marketing back for them.
Well, it's an SEO thing too, because having it linked to their website actually helps you with your credibility, your reliability.
Exactly.
On the backside of it that a lot of people don't think about, that being able to actually link them up together actually can help that too. And like you were saying with the old website not being cluttered and just everything everywhere, hard to find. Like, that's a big thing with marketing, is sometimes we need to figure out a way to simplify the information on the website, or let's try a different way of putting it on the website. Because otherwise, I mean, if I go on a website and I'm trying to look for one thing and I can't find it after a little bit, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm done looking at it.
Well, exactly. And you might walk by the grandstand wall, and that's where we have all of our sponsors and stuff. And you might be like, oh, what's P&R Door, or P&R, and you'll go to the website and you'll click on that link. It'll take you right to it, or Beiser Lumber, or you never know.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll be helpful. I really hope it draws more business to them also.
Yeah. I mean,
so 70 to help out
70 sponsors, is that what you said?
Like 75, I think.
Jeez.
I mean, that's pretty.
It's a lot of sponsors.
I feel like that should make you guys feel really good, though. You have all these people that want to help you guys out and help watch the fairgrounds grow and build up what it's already at.
It's amazing. I don't know. Well, back in when you started, how many sponsors do we have?
I don't know. But we'll say it probably 30% of that.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I know our sponsorship amount has doubled in what we've had. Again, that's why the fair's been able to grow, and we have the free entertainment.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, part of doing the links and everything else is we need to support those businesses. So.
Oh, 100%. I do want to mention, even as we're recording this, the new website has not been published and launched yet.
No,
right?
it has
Correct?
not. No.
Okay. But even on the old website, I'm sure it'll be on the new website, much easier to find. I perused around a little bit on the old site, and I did find that people can get all the sponsorship information right on the site there, as far as even donating money to you guys and applying to become a sponsor and things like that.
Yeah, sponsorship forms out there, and you can always call Heather or I, and we're happy to. Some sponsors aren't always doing financial. We need other things at the fairgrounds. So people might donate some equipment or something else that helps us out.
So pretty much, because we were talking about before the podcast started, that Heather pretty much answers to everything. So if you really like talking to Heather.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the central theme here. Yeah. Call Heather.
Yeah. But no, really, if you're interested in sponsoring or anything, I'll come to you. You don't have to come to me. I will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
they can just access that information through the website then.
they
Yep.
can.
And it'll be nice and easy. I think Caleb, if I'm not mistaken, had created going to create a form or something like that to make it a little bit easier for.
Yeah, a
for
contact
people.
us form. And then we also have the sponsorship form too on the website.
Beautiful. Sounds like you guys are you've got it all patched out here. It's going to be.
I guess they do. They won't show it to me. So I'm gonna have some trust here.
It's amazing. I've got to say that. It's going to be a whole new world for us.
Yeah.
It's going to be so easy.
So we're getting close down to the end here. It's nice to see how you guys especially pre to post COVID, because I feel like in my life that's just a weird benchmark to throw on things.
Oh yeah.
But it's nice to see how it's changed, and I've actually been to the fair within the last year, so it's kind of cool to be look at all these people here. It's so packed. I almost couldn't even drive my car into the place. It was so full. It's so full. So it's nice to know that the fair is growing every single year. People are coming out. That's enjoying. Sponsorships are growing. You're you're updating things. It's great. But as we get down to the end of the podcast, I want to ask you guys each, what is in one way marketing has impacted your guys' life, and maybe perhaps you didn't even really know it was happening. There could be products you buy or things that you associate with certain industries. I guess a good example could be something I play guitar, and a lot of people just think about one certain guitar brand, and that's their favorite brand because the marketing for that brand has worked for whatever this person's belief system is or whatever they want to get out of the object, something like that. Is there anything in your guys' life that has been marketed that you're just I actually almost didn't even realize that this marketing was working on me?
I don't know why this is coming up, but I recently watched Frosted. Have you seen that?
Unfrosted?
Unfrosted.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I've been wanting to watch it.
So
I haven't watched it yet.
Yes.
I just watched Unfrosted, and then we had Pop-Tarts at the house, right? So Unfrosted
I've never seen it, so I don't even know.
Is the story of the Pop-Tart.
Yes.
Right? And how the Pop-Tart came to be from cereal manufacturers and then, you just kind of sit there and watch it. What are they trying to appeal to? And although they're making a farce about the name and how the name came up versus the other name that came out, I found it really interesting. All those little things, they really make a difference in how you're branding it and what it looks like and which kids decided to pull that off the shelf than something else.
So did you go buy more Pop-Tarts?
Okay, so
Were you eating a Pop-Tart? Well,
Yeah.
I did go have a Pop-Tart afterwards. So that did
they
work.
gotcha.
And then the kids had gone out to replace those, and they came back with the off-brand. And then I'm like, well, although that marketing's more appealing, this is actually a better product, but we keep buying that one
Yeah. We all
because of how it's put together.
1,000%. Nobody's. If you said Toastums, nobody's going to know what you're talking about. But
Right.
But you remember Toastums were good.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm still buying the Pop-Tarts, even though I think I like
Yeah,
the Toastums
I mean, if I
better.
looked at two things on a shelf, I wouldn't buy the other one. I would buy that one, but I actually like the other one better when I actually eat the product.
Yeah.
But I bought it because of the
So
marketing.
it's not all about the color then? The
No, it was a
colorful
bright,
it is?
shinier box, and the name popped more, right? Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Got it.
It just it's their packaging was more appealing. Everything else, that's why you buy it originally. But if you actually go taste this off-brand, I think Great Value brand is really
wow.
what it is.
Really?
I actually like that one more.
Well, I mean, that shows the power of marketing, honestly.
Right.
Even though in our brains we can logically say, I think I prefer this more, I'm still getting this product because it fits something better. I don't know why. But that's a perfect example. Also, Unfrosted, Jerry Seinfeld, Pop-Tart movie. I thought he lost his mind when he was making a Pop-Tart movie.
I know.
And then I turned it on just being like, whatever, I'll watch it. Like you said, very entertaining.
Yeah, well, it's full of talent.
Yes.
There's a lot,
Oh yeah,
a lot
I
of
couldn't
people in
believe
there.
the amount. I've seen little snippets of it, and the amount of pretty popular celebrities that are on
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Okay, so is this
Oh,
on
man.
Netflix?
Yes.
Yes.
It's on Netflix. So
I'll have
she's
to
gonna go
maybe-
watch it
I'll have to go
now
watch
in between
it.
her livestock
Yeah,
podcast.
don't watch it while you're driving. Just listen to the podcast.
Oh, okay, got it. Got it.
So did you have anything marketing wise that you think is just
So I was thinking about that, and it has to go back to the website.
all right?
So with us dealing with the website, I went to a lot of different other people's websites, like different like marketing and like people that does websites and stuff. And I think your guys' website, Spin Markets, drew me in the most. So I've got to say, I think that's why we came. And because you're so local.
Yes, absolutely. I think those are two big reasons that a lot of people end up choosing.
You know, there's I went to a lot of different websites and we talked to a lot of different people, and I was like, it's fine. Yeah, you're fine. But it's like, then you go back to your website and I'm like, this is really drawing me in. And then I got to look at other people's websites that you guys have done. I'm like, this is like BA, guys. Like, I really like it.
So we've because Peter can acknowledge this one, but we've had, because he was doing some research on dental clinics. And that's something that we've noticed is that with a lot of those type of cookie cutter website builders is that they tend to stick to the same template and the same pictures. And you found three websites that were literally identical, same picture, same colors, everything. Like you could switch it. The only thing that changed was the logo
and a phone number were the only two things different on there. It was, otherwise, like she said, pictures, the stock photos were all the same. And I think that's one of the things that blows me away about all the web designers, all the graphic designers they have here. I'm consistently blown away by the amount of ideas they have, by how they can organize all the information there and still make it look good, which I think is probably the biggest difficulty for me when it comes to designing websites, is trying to get all the information on there and still letting it look good.
And I swear, so Caleb's the one that helped us and Mac's the one that did our logo. And I think Caleb would say, hey, I need this. So I'd be throwing him out a billion emails and it never got lost. He would just always right on the dot. And I'm like, that is amazing.
I love it. I love
and with Mac, with her communication stuff with the logo, it's amazing. If I didn't respond back, it'd be an hour later. Here's the email.
But they really dialed it in when they got in a room with a dog.
Oh,
that's really where the magic started happening.
Those of you that don't know, we have our little mascot, which is sitting right next to me, Buster here. That's a whole Cheryl thing. So when we were sending logos to Cory, the bulldog was in every single picture.
Well, it just happened to be at the right level when I was taking a picture of the screen, because every time you change, I was like, oh, I like that one instead. And then you change again. I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. So when I finally found one I really liked.
Apparently the bulldog had one straight face, so he wasn't
he
quite
didn't
sure.
change much at all.
Yeah. So I got to say, it's you marketing, you guys, Spin Market.
Nice.
You guys are the ones that did it for me.
I mean, that's great to hear. I mean, I'm relatively new to Spin Market, so it's great to hear that, like I said, I'm just blown away every time I see these guys producing something. Guys, these people, guys, gals.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see what everybody here is doing. It's really kind of enlightening to know that they're helping people in the capacity they are.
And the communication, that's a key to success, I always say. And honestly, the communication here is amazing.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. So those are a couple ways marketing can impact people's daily lives.
Really can.
And maybe they don't even realize that it's happening.
Right?
You pick the site that looks best. You talk to the people that look best. You eat the Pop-Tarts that look the coolest.
Yep.
And now we're going to have the BA website.
That's awesome. You're gonna
so I want everyone to go visit our website. Even if you're bored, just go look at it. Just go look and update the pictures.
Yes. We'll have a new website up very soon. Hopefully by the time this posts. I think that's our plan for this.
It is.
So we'll have links down in the description for that for sure.
New website and new logo.
New logo too.
We'll
and
be all
let's
revamped.
just drop it in one more time that the Webster County Fair is from July 17th through the 21st.
It is.
And the goat burgers were the 20th.
The 20th, yes.
That's when I will be
Emphasis,
there for sure.
goat burgers.
Yes.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital.
Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market.
Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026 or visit our website www.spinmarket.com.